I value your time, and I'm so glad that you are hanging out with us tonight, learning about this amazing, incredible water. I had been hearing about it, and for a long time, I saw these posts on social media, and one of my good friends was talking about it a lot. And I thought, water is water. This is really silly. Get yourself some clean water. I had not lived the greatest lifestyle, one that didn't really focus on prevention, really more focused on treating symptoms with medication. And that is one of the reasons why I'm so passionate today about preventative health and doing everything that you can to help keep your body healthy. I found myself as a single mom. I had gone through a crazy, not fun, not expected divorce, and just was really struggling in every way. My health was one of the biggest struggles. And when I learned about this water, I was thinking, wow, I want to get healthy. I want to change my situation. And I changed the food that I was eating. And a lot of times when we're trying to get healthy, that's the first thing that we look at is we look at what food are we putting into our body? Is it healthy? Is it organic? Is it whole foods? Our body is made of water. So we try to get healthy and we're changing our diet and we're trying to eat better. Really, the very first thing that we should be looking at is our quality of water. Our blood is 83% water. Our liver, which is your body's like filter to clean your blood, that is 86% water. Our kidneys, that's another filter to filter out the toxins of your body, is 83% water. So when I started looking at all of this, I started saying, okay, wait a minute. I really need to take a look at the water that I'm drinking. And how does it compare to this water that my friend is posting all over social media? I started getting really curious and I started looking into it a little bit more. When I started looking at the water, I not only wanted to learn what makes it different, what makes it so amazing and healthy and awesome, but I wanted to know, where does this come from? Why does it exist in the first place? Why is there this little machine that people put on top of their counter or below their counter? Where does the technology come from? All around the world, there are these places, and these places have this miracle water, or some areas like in Lourdes, France, it's dubbed as holy water or the fountain of youth. And I used to think that this was all just like a myth, that maybe it was just in the movies or something, but it's a real thing. These springs have these specific properties, and people would travel from all over the world for thousands of years, and they would drink these waters and they would have these really amazing experiences. But what they found was when they took that water away from the source, they didn't have the same experience. It needed to be fresh. It was discovered the reason why it needed to be fresh is because it was abundant in active hydrogen, which is a major antioxidant. It was also alkaline as well. One of the things that fascinated me was that these bodies of water, these water springs, they're located in what's also known as the blue zones of the world. If you don't know what that is, should definitely look into that. It's really cool. It's these areas and pockets of the world where people live the longest. It took the Japanese 20 years to invent the technology. It started out in hospitals, then they invented the home unit. This is how the technology works. I'd like to explain this right up front so that as we go through the properties of the water, we're going to have a better understanding of what's happening. So this Japanese technology is phenomenal. First, the goal is to clean up the water. There is customized pre-filtration available if you're in an area where that's needed. We believe that water filtration is not a one-size-fits-all. It really is based on where you live and the contaminants that are in your water. And then inside the machine, there is a double carbon antibacterial filter. After it goes through the filtering process, the goal is to take out the bad stuff, leave in the good stuff. So we're taking out the contaminants, and then we're leaving in the good minerals that your body needs, the calcium, the magnesium, and the potassium. And inside of this machine, there are plates, and these plates are large. They're 5 by 7 in size. Those plates are charged up with a power supply that gives very steady, consistent power. In fact, it's the same technology used by military aircraft. So those plates are charged up, then the water goes over the plate. Water is H2O. And as the water rolls over those plates, more hydrogen is pulled towards the top of the machine and more oxygen is pulled towards the bottom of the machine. So it makes hydrogen rich, anti inflammatory alkaline drinking waters and oxygenated cleaning waters. It actually makes different waters, and each water has a multitude of uses. We do have different machines. Today, we're just going to be talking about the K8 and the SD501. Let's talk about the company really quickly before we go through how this water is better and different than the other waters that are out there. We have been around since 1974. We have stood the test of times, and we have had years to perfect this technology. This company is endorsed by the Japanese Association of Preventative Medicine for Adult Disease. That is an organization that is comprised of 6,600 doctors. They all get together and they decide what is going to keep our people living the longest. What are the things that we can get behind that are really going to help our people be the healthiest? They choose one item from every industry. And guess what? We are the only ionizer company that they endorse. We also have many certifications and accolades. I'm just going to tell you about a couple that really spoke to me. We are the only one in the world that has the certification, the only ionizer company. This one, it's an ISO 13485. We do have multiple ISO certifications. ISO stands for International Standards Organization. What this means is that we are a medical device internationally. This is the certification that I print off whenever I'm traveling through the airport with my water, because you can take your water through the airport, which is amazing that you can do that. The next certification that we have is the WQA certification. WQA stands for Water Quality Association. This is the largest third-party water testing facility in the entire world. And they really have us put our money where our mouth is. We say that these machines last for 25 years. What they do is they take our machines and they put them through so many cycles at a high PSI, and they test the first gallon's quality against the last gallon's quality. They also soak the machine in a solution and ensure that there's no heavy metals that are coming from the machine or no toxins from the plastics. Even down to the hoses of our machines, we have embedded colloidal silver so that it will resist mold and bacteria growth. And that is just one of the many things. We just do not cut any corners. This is made in Japan. Each machine is handmade from start to finish, and they do such an incredible job at doing that. But we also are our own manufacturer. So we're not sourcing out parts from other countries. We manufacture every single part of that machine, which is amazing. You know exactly what you're getting, and every part is tested. Now, the WQA certification, we are the only ionizer company that has this certification. It really is a standard for anything in the water industry. You can't even go to Home Depot and buy a water heater or a water softener without it being WQA certified. They do go by very stringent guidelines, and they do make sure that the water that's going through those or any of water products is safe. We are also ANSI accredited as well. With this certification, this machine can be used commercially too, in gyms, in spas, and daycares or clinics, things like that. These two certifications that I'm sharing with you today, they are on the Enagic website at enagic.com. There's a lot of knockoff companies that pretend to have certifications they don't have. And when you actually look it up, which is public record, you find they don't have them. Okay, let's get talking about health for a second. Let's start talking about how this water is different and how amazing our bodies are. Our bodies were designed to heal themselves. However, there are current lifestyles that we have that create roadblocks. Some of them are even environmental situations beyond our control. What I love about this water is that it really helps with the body to heal itself. Now, before we go any further, whether you're Eastern medicine minded or Western medicine minded, this will make sense to you either way. Now, if you're scratching your head and you're like, what is that? Eastern medicine is a more natural approach to trying natural things first, whereas Western medicine is where you are treating your symptoms with medication and it's an allopathic form of medicine. I believe there's a best of both worlds, and most recently, functional medicine clinics, which have Eastern and Western medicine doctors working together. Whenever I first learned about this water, I was very Western medicine minded. And I really thought that anyone that was more holistic minded, I thought it all was just a little silly to me. Now I've gone the other side and I'm more holistic minded. Either way, this will make sense because we all drink water. This is Dr. Corinne Allen, and she is the founder of the Advanced Learning and Development Institute. And she has been a natural health practitioner for the last 30 years. She has a PhD in nutrition. I love her background, and I love how she's really focused on the brain. What she talks about is how when the brain is chronically dehydrated, that its functioning suffers. And she shares that our brain needs tryptophan, and that's an amino acid used to make serotonin, and then that's used to make melatonin. And the amount of serotonin made is dependent on the adequate amount of water in your brain. When I was learning about this, I was like, wait, what? This was mind blowing to me. As you saw, our brains are 74% water. It started making sense. Okay, if our bodies are dehydrated, our functioning will suffer of our brain. Let's talk about how this water is different. How does it hydrate you differently? What's so different about this water than the other waters that are out there? There's 3 different properties that's really different than the other waters that are out there. The very first one is the antioxidant levels of this water. This is my favorite property. I get so excited about this property. This is what makes this water the fountain of youth. This is what makes this water anti-inflammatory. Our bodies are oxidating all the time. You can think of oxidation like if you cut open an apple and it turns brown, or you leave guacamole out and it turns brown. That's oxidation. That's what's happening to our bodies. And as our bodies oxidate, it's affecting inflammatory issues, and it's causing sickness, and it's causing aging. We want to be giving our body things that's going to slow down the oxidation process and the aging process of our body and reduce inflammation. I feel like I look younger drinking this water. I feel better than I did in my 20s. I just feel amazing. How do you tell whether something is an oxidant or an antioxidant? Because it's a huge buzzword in the health community. It's on lots of labels. It's on lots of labels of water, antioxidant rich. How do you know if it's really an antioxidant? They can write so many things on the labels and they're not held liable. So here's one way that you can tell. It's through an oxidation reduction potential meter, also known as an ORP meter. So let's go ahead and roll that video.
This is an ORP meter. ORP stands for Oxidation Reduction Potential. This meter tells us in millivolts whether something is an antioxidant or an oxidant. Think of an oxidant as something that causes inflammation in the body. To keep this simple, if the number is positive by any number, it's an oxidant. If it's negative, it's an antioxidant. Here's the waters that we are going to test today. Each one of these bottles of water represents an entire group of water. First up, we have reverse osmosis water, which today we're testing Aquafina. but this would be the same as if you were to have reverse osmosis filtration system in your home. That is what this would test out to be like. Second up, we have Pellegrino. Now, this represents the sparkling waters that are out there. There's LaCroix. There's many different sparkling waters that people drink. This next one is Propel, and it's a sports drink. So any sports drink that you test would be in a similar range of this one. Then we have soda. Today I'm testing Sprite. Keep in mind there are a lot of other sodas out there that are worse than Sprite. Lastly, I have our Kangen water here. I poured it up just a little bit ago, and I'm also going to do a comparison of this water that's been sitting here, as well as getting some water that's fresh out of the machine, so that you can see what a difference it makes when you get the water fresh. So let's go ahead and start our test. You're going to notice that as I pull this meter out, that there's already a number on the screen. This is just measuring the oxidation of the air. Let's go ahead and start with our Aquafina here, or reverse osmosis water. Now, as you can see, this is always in a range. It doesn't just stay on one number. Reverse osmosis water tends to be in the 200 to 300 range. Something to also consider is that this is just testing bottled waters that don't have additives. If we were to test the ones that have the ingredients added to them, it would be even higher, and that's a complete different video that I'll show you guys. Next up is our sparkling water, which is our San Pellegrino. This is quite a bit more oxidating, and the 350 to 430 range is where it usually ends up at. Next up is our sports drinks. This is Propel, and as you can see, very oxidating, up close to 360 to 400 in that range. Then we have our sodas. Now, sodas, even this soda, it goes all the way up into the 400s, some even in the 500s. It's so oxidating to the body. Next up, we have our Kangen water. I want you to pay attention to how quickly this changes. Now, this is at a level of 9.5, but it's been sitting out as I've been making these videos, and I want to show you how quickly this changes. It is already up to almost 800, and I want you to see what it is fresh. So really quick, I am just going to dump this out and show you guys what this looks like when the water is fresh out of the machine. This will show you the power of having a machine. As this water sits, it oxidates. And that is why it is so important to get this water fresh, straight from the source. Pay attention to how fast this meter changes. Look at that, immediately in the negative 800s. To get the same amount of antioxidants in 1 glass of this water, you would have to eat 5 pounds of blueberries. It has 10 times the amount of antioxidants as green tea. All of this is why this water reduces inflammation in the body, helps with boosting your immune system, also helps contribute to wellness, more energy, and this is why I would never, ever drink any other water but this water.
Wow. Isn't that amazing? So that is the first property of the water. This is how this is anti-inflammatory and so antioxidant rich. I don't know if you remember seeing a graph that I had that vitamin C was at negative 50. And vitamin C is known for its anti-aging and its antioxidant levels. It's so amazing that you can have something on tap that reduces inflammation and that is so clean and just so amazing. The second property of this water that makes it different is the pH. pH is a measurement that determines the acidity or alkalinity of a substance or a solution. And our blood actually maintains its own pH. When I started learning about this water, I knew that our blood had its own buffering system and that it maintains this, it's called homeostasis, and it maintains this blood pH level all the time. But what I didn't quite take into account is that no matter what you put into your body, it's going to make that happen by robbing from Peter to pay Paul. We live in an acidic world. Meat is acidic. Dairy is acidic. Sugar, oh my goodness, so acidic. So you can be vegan, you can eat as healthy as you want, but guess what? Stress is the number one acidifier of our bodies. Now, I know there's a few of you that might not have any of that. When I learned that, I was like, wow, that is just so crazy. What happens is you have all this acidity happening in your body. Your blood will maintain that pH level by pulling from alkaline stores from different organs, from your bones, from your teeth to make that pH level happen. The idea that you want to flood your body with as much good alkalinity as possible that is not going to cause you to get too alkaline. It needs to be a safe alkalinity that's not going to do that, and one that's not going to mess with your digestive system. Sickness and diseases, they thrive in acidic tissues of our body. So keep that in mind when I show you this next video. Is it acidic or is it alkaline? Each beverage represents a different category. We have Aquafina, which is reverse osmosis water. So if you have an RO system at your home, that's what that would represent. We have Propel, which represents all the sports drinks that are out there. So Sprite represents all the sodas. And then we have the Kangen water. And then we have the Dasani. I think that's like in a category of its own because it's RO water with additives added to it and ingredients. And let's go ahead and roll that. And let's see, are you drinking alkaline or acidic?
Test your pool or anything you want to test the pH of a liquid. If you look at the pH chart, it's about a 4. And then typically pop in the sports drinks are right in between a 3 and a 4 pH. When you got your Kangen, this is actually the 9.5 water, but the machine can make 8.5, 9, or 9.5 so that you don't detox too quickly. A fun little trick I want to show you guys is I pulled the Kangen water here. Let's say you've been drinking bottled water for a long time and you're like, okay, well, how long could it take for the water to help my body? Well, drink Kangen, drinking the Kangen water. But you guys, sports drinks and sodas are so acidic. It actually takes 32 glasses of Kangen water just to neutralize one soda. Check this out. Take the soda, take the Kangen. One sip.
Most of the time, we don't even know that we are drinking acidic things. And remember, our body is made of water. If we're flooding it with acidic things, it's going to have a harder time. So I just want to also just bring up these fake alkaline waters that you see. When I first started learning about this water, they were just coming out. They add baking soda to the water to make it alkaline. I want to just talk about that really quick because they're not antioxidant rich. It's just baking soda water, but they claim to be antioxidant rich. And what's funny, some of them aren't even alkaline. They cause digestive issues. We actually just had a girl that was in the hospital for alkalosis because she drank over a gallon of bottled pH waters with the baking soda, and it made her blood go too alkaline. This water doesn't have that problem. So these bottled pH waters, they're no more than just ingredients added to the water to make them alkaline. And let's get the next video ready. And this next video is showing how this water absorbs differently in the body. This is just a great visualization of how this absorbs in our bodies.
Absolute favorites. You see this Lipton green tea bag? We want this to represent your body. Now, this is not some major scientific experiment. It's just a cool idea so you can see the better hydration and detoxification. So we'll put this tea bag in there. I want you to pretend like you're drinking Dasani all day and you're trying to get yourself hydrated. This is really important for athletes. It's really important for dealing with brain fog. And of course, with the detoxification, it's really important for losing weight and for feeling better because toxins, we get a little help there. Toxins sit in our cells and you can't get them out with your water. What did my skeptical husband say? He said, that's not fair. The tea bag was already wet, right? But isn't that cool? That's showing you the superior hydration, better detoxification of your cells. But just so you know that we weren't cheating, it wasn't because the tea bag was already wet. We'll go back to the Dasani. You know how when you feel really bloated or your stomach feels really full and sloshy with bottled water or tap water, you're drinking a lot of water? It's because it's sitting in your stomach and not actually absorbing into the intestines. To give you a little dose of science, the Kangen water, between the good alkaline minerals and the antioxidant, it can open your pyloric valve and go straight into the intestines. We actually have the top colon doctor in the world, Dr. Hiromi Shinya. He created the polyposcopy and helped create the colonoscopy. And this is why he recommends Kangen water as the main beverage to drink, because the Kangen water absorbs the tea better. That's showing you how you can absorb your nutrients better and how you can get waste and toxins out of your cells better. It's a pretty cool representation.
This property, it really allows for supplement utilization in the body, increased nutrient absorption. Those are all really positive things. I wanted to share really quickly. She mentioned that the top colon doctor in the world, Dr. Hiromi Shinya, this is the water that he has his patients drink. Just wanted to talk a little bit about him, because when I learned about this water, one of the books that I read, The Enzyme Factor, is an international bestseller. I loved this book because I was really Western medicine minded. I really found this source to be a good one because Dr. Shinya has a degree in Eastern medicine and in Western medicine. He is very well known for inventing the colonoscopy and the polypectomy snare. On his very first page of his book, he talks about his story and why he's so passionate and why he started studying this. And he also talks about how out of all of his cancer patients, there has been a 0% recurrence rate of any kind of cancer. And I found that to be a very bold claim to make. Now, I'm not saying that if you drink this water, then you're not going to get cancer. What I am saying is that he is one of the top surgeons in the world, and that this is a very big piece to his puzzle. I wanted to know, why does he feel this way? Why is it so important? Why is it such a big piece of the puzzle? I did some studying on what he teaches, and he talks about how we absorb our nutrients through the colon, how if waste is coating the walls of the colon, it makes it really difficult for the nutrients to enter into the bloodstream and to be carried throughout the body and be utilized. And the reason why this is that the walls of our colon are negatively charged. I want you to think back to science class. So positive and negative stick together. So the wall is negatively charged, and then you have the waste from our food, and that is positively charged. So they stick together. It builds up over time. The water is negatively charged. And so it's able to pull the waste from the walls of the colon and give you the best colon health. There's a lot of people that struggle with their colon health and with different issues of their colon. Let's talk about how, when you can get your body hydrated correctly, what that can do for you. First of all, I have at the top of this list is banish headaches. Migraines was something that was one of the things that I struggled with. Headaches can affect your quality of life. Did you know that most headaches are caused from a dehydration? So imagine your body being completely hydrated, how that could make a difference. I have on here, improve your mood. I talked a little bit about that in the beginning, about how being hydrated, how it can affect your brain health, because our brain is made of water. I have on here, boost your energy levels, the wakefulness that this water gives. It's not like an energy drink. It is like a nice wakefulness, and you sleep more soundly. You wake up feeling more refreshed in the morning. It also helps flush out those toxins and improves your digestive system, relieves constipation. It helps regulate your body temperature, reduce inflammation. That's probably one of the biggest things on here that really spoke to me. I became really passionate about this. As I learned about this, I felt so lucky. Sometimes we don't do something about something until something bad happens. But this is a preventative approach. And that's why I'm so passionate about this, because I believe that people can really take a proactive approach instead of a reactive approach. If you're reducing inflammation and you have aches and pains, a lot of times those can be alleviated Not a guarantee, but I've seen it happen to a lot of people. It also helps improve your complexion and boosts your immune system, prevents kidney stones. Preventative is the key. We can prevent something. That's where we're going to have the best quality of life. It also promotes weight loss. It is such an amazing water. Now, the water doesn't just make this amazing, incredible, healthy, anti-aging drinking water. It also makes other waters that I want to talk to you about really quick. Let's first talk about the drinking water that the machine makes. It makes 3 different levels of drinking water, and you gradually go up because it does detox your body, and that can be an unpleasant experience, but doing it this way, you actually feel better instead of worse. I have on here that it's best on an empty stomach. All water in beverages, they're really supposed to be drank on an empty stomach. We just live in the USA where we do whatever we want, and it's just a normal thing to have a big gulp or a big cup of a beverage or soda or something next to our plate. Most people, they start out with level 1, and that level 1, that is also known as 8.5. Usually after 3 to 5 days, they move to level 2, which is the 9.0 pH level. And then after 3 to 5 days after that, they finish with drinking level 3, 9.5 pH, which is what your dogs and your children end up drinking that forever and ever. It also makes a 7.0 clean water, and this is for time-released medications. So if you are taking any antidepressants, or if you are taking maybe a heart medication, you wouldn't really want to enhance how that works. I talked about how it enhances supplement utilization. You really don't want to do that with certain things. And so with those meds, you would drink them with the 7.0 clean water, and then you would wait about 15 to 20 minutes, and then you could drink your regular water again. The next water that the machine makes is the beauty water. This is my toner and tightener on tap. They sell a lot of toners at the store. These are really pricey. This works better than those, in my own opinion. It's so awesome for helping keep the skin bright, helping with tightness of the skin and keeping it firm. It also helps with retaining moisture. It also helps with keeping your pores really small. Guess what it also is? It's my deep conditioner on tap for my hair. It also is my Windex on tap. It cleans glass. It makes it shine streak-free. I feel like an infomercial right now. It also is what I use to water my garden with. My garden goes crazy with this water. You don't need those fertilizers that lower the pH of the soil. Your garden will love you and your housemates. The next water that the machine makes, we just have 2 more, is the strong acidic 2.5 pH water. This is also known as hypochlorous acid water. If you look up hypochlorous acid, it is phenomenal that you have this on tap. It's so amazing. This is my disinfectant on tap. It kills bacteria, germs, mold, and viruses. It has a 30-second kill ratio on MRSA, Staph, E. coli, Salmonella, Strep. This is what I use to disinfect my cutting boards, disinfect my toilets. I have a little bottle that I use as hand sanitizer, and even cleaning the air, spraying it in the air to kill the germ. This same water is phenomenal for skin conditions and wound care. It has significant results on psoriasis, eczema, folliculitis, rashes, acne, burns, fungus, wound care, athlete's foot, warts. It is seriously amazing. Let me just show you a couple of skin conditions really quick. They're before and after pictures. This is on eczema, and this individual, this is just 2 weeks, 2 weeks, and with drinking the water and then treating the outside with the 2.5. I wish I would have taken pictures of my kids because they had the worst eczema ever. And the fact that we were able to stop using these steroid creams, one was actually recalled because it caused lymphoma. They've been on different ones over the years. These steroid creams that are not good for your body. They're not good for your liver. They're not good for your skin. They thin the skin over time. So this is a before and after picture. of my friend's child, and it was 3 weeks. And they had been struggling with this for years. Then the next slide is the picture of a staph infection. This little boy, he had a staph infection, and they were going to take his nose because they were afraid that it was going to spread to his brain and that he would die. They were concerned for his life. They decided to try this water. It was a neighbor that said, "Hey, I have some water and I think that you should try this." And so they tried it, and it was a game changer. So you can see, after even on day 3, from day 1 to day 3, I have had a lot of personal experience with this water and individuals in my family that have had staph and MRSA. And I love that I have something on tap that will help them. By the way, this surgeon is actually now a customer and a big believer of this water. So lots of uses for that 2.5 water. It also whitens your teeth, by the way. There's so many uses. You can even gargle with it when you have a sore throat. Now let's move to the last water that we're going to talk about is the 11.5 water. Now this water is my 409 on tap. This is my degreaser. This is my stain remover. This is my laundry soap. You guys, you don't have to buy laundry soap anymore. You have it on tap. It's so amazing. It also takes pesticides off of food. Pesticides are oil-based, and they're meant to stick on the food. They're meant to stay on there. They're not meant to wash off. So that's why when you see this picture over here on the left, it did not take any pesticides off. Over on the right, we use the 11.5 water, and it takes those oil-based pesticides right off. One of the things that was really upsetting to me to learn about was that the second leading ingredient in pesticides was banned in household chemicals in the 90s because it causes cancer, and they are spraying it on our food. Something else that a lot of people think, that if they buy organic, that it means that there's no pesticides. Organic doesn't mean no pesticides, and they just have a different form of pesticide. I visited an organic apple orchard, and it was a field trip for my kids' school. And we walked up and they said, "We're so sorry. We forgot you were coming. And we sprayed about 20 minutes ago. So we still have about 30 to 45 minutes before anyone can even walk back there." And I thought I was like busting them on something. I was like, wait a minute, you sprayed pesticides? You're supposed to be organic. And they were like, wait, organic doesn't mean no pesticides. It just means we have to use certain pesticides. And they're still dangerous to breathe in. So we cannot go back there. It just really surprised me to learn about that. I love that with the push of a button, I can, instead of going to the store to buy these products, I can fill up a spray bottle. I can fill up a container. I can have my own cleaners on tap that are chemical free. There was a 20-year independent study, and it found that using national brand cleaners as little as once a week is as damaging to your lungs as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day for 20 years. I always knew that these chemicals were bad for us to breathe in. And I always felt bad about having my kids clean the bathrooms and help out around the house with the mopping and using these chemicals. I love that I don't feel that anymore. I can put a spray bottle in their hand and tell them, "Hey, go clean the bathroom. We're doing chores." And I can teach my kids that responsibility without damaging their lungs. I also love adding essential oils to these waters. It really is fun to play around with that and just have different smells, because I'm a big smell person. So that is the different waters. It's also phenomenal to cook with as well. Really enhances the flavor. Things cook faster and they taste better. Let's talk about price, because the first thing that comes up whenever I've shared all of this, I'm talking about a machine that lasts for 25 years. That's a medical device internationally, and that does all these amazing things and replaces all these chemicals in your home. And everyone always says, "Oh my goodness, how much is this?" how much could this be? Appliances in my home that last for 3 to 5 years are pretty pricey. So what's a 25-year appliance going to cost? I just want to first say they're very affordable. Second, I just want to say that you're spending it anyways. I promise that if you add up all the bottled waters that you purchase every week and you take a look at if you buy toners and tighteners for your skin and cleaning products, not to mention the preventative side of it, which is priceless to me, but you are spending it anyways. And this is very affordable. Let me just talk about the savings really quick. This was a family of 4, and they made a list of everything on a spreadsheet that they would save money on by using the water, everything that they replaced. They even got really creative. They used the 11.5 for dog ear cleaner. I remember reading that and going, oh my goodness, wow, there's so many uses for this water. If you want to see this spreadsheet, feel free to ask me, reach out to me, or ask the person that invited you. Chances are they have it. But in 1 year, they saved $3,000. $250 a month is what they figured that they were the money that they were saving. Over 10 years, that's $30,000. I've had my machine for 10 years. It just blows my mind. It gets me so excited to think of all the money that I've saved. Over 20 years, $60,000. When you look at this as an expense, it is not an expense, it's an investment. Think of it as renting versus owning. You could rent, you could go out and keep buying these products forever and ever, or you could own the little box that makes it all. Let's just talk about the different machines. Let's just talk about the price. All of the machines that I'm sharing with you today make all the waters that we talked about. I own all 3, so I can speak to the performance of all 3 of them. I actually own 2 of the K8s. You'll always say, why do you have so many machines? Because I love them. I love them. So the SD501, let's talk about that machine. That one, you can buy it outright. It's $39.80 outright. However, there is a payment plan if that's something that you need. And that is around $42 a month, give or take a little bit with taxes. There's lots of different options. That's through a third party. That's just one of the most popular options. When I talk about these payment plans, get with the person that invited you here to talk to them more about those details. SD501, it makes all the waters that you see here. It speaks 1 language. The Platinum speaks 5 languages, and it's silver, and it's not made of stainless steel, even though it has that stainless steel look to it. It's not heavy. It's a very light, beautiful material that they make it with. And that one makes all the same waters that the SD501 makes. It's just silver instead of black and white and colorful. That's the only difference, is the languages and the color. The price of the Platinum is $42.80 if you buy the machine outright. If you put it on that payment plan that we have, it's around $45 a month. Then you have the K8, and that has a little bit more bells and whistles. The K8, these are the differences. It has a touch screen. It's all white, which is like all the rage right now. Everybody wants all white appliances. Most people, they really like that clean, all white look. The touchscreen is really fun. It has an extra plate inside of that machine. It makes stronger anti-inflammatory waters. It also has a water conserving feature as well. The power supply converts to any country in the entire world, which is amazing. You don't see that every day. It's such a brilliant, amazing machine. Makes, again, all the waters we talked about. Most people, they get this machine not because of the extra bells and whistles on it, but they actually get it because it has the highest anti-inflammatory properties, which is really appealing to a lot of people. That machine is $52 a month, or $49.80 if you were to buy that machine outright. Those are the 3 most popular ones. They even make an under-the-counter unit. I try to talk everybody out of it because you can save a little bit of money, and I'm all about that. I'm all about saving money. And when you're thinking about this and you're trying to decide which machine is the best one for you, I want you to think for a second If someone offered you a membership, and with this membership, you got delivered to your door all the healthy drinking water that you want, all the healthy antioxidants and natural anti-inflammatory supplements. And in this membership included all the organic cleaning supplies that you wanted that were chemical free, and all the laundry soap that you wanted, and skincare waters. And basically, I'm sure you can see where I'm going with this. And they said, you can do that for, we'll just go in the middle, $45 a month. You can have as much of it as you want, and you can even get extra and give it to your neighbors. That's what we have here. Except instead of having all these different packaging and having all these different deliveries, it's in one box. It's just right there by your sink, and it's just available at the push of a button. So I love that not only did this water change my life, but I've been able to help bless other people by sharing this water and giving it away for people to try, for people to drink, for people to use when they're struggling with different ailments and different things. That has just been so fulfilling for me. I also just wanted to share that when I purchased this machine, they didn't have all these really cool payment plans available. I had to get really creative in my situation that I was in. I love that this is so affordable for every family. I just want to say one last thing. We do have a referral program, and it's actually one of the ways that I offset the cost for my machine. I helped share this water with other people. The company sent me thank you checks for that. I decided, you know what? I want to do this. I want to do this for a living. I want to help change people's lives. I want to get this water into everyone's hands that I can reach. And so if you're interested in learning a little bit about that, and it's okay if you're not, then reach out to the person that invited you here and just ask them a little bit more about that referral program, or how you might be able to offset the cost of your machine. Chances are you're going to be telling everyone about this water. People are going to be asking you about it, and you're going to be sharing it with other people. So it's a big plus. And you can write it off on your taxes too, whenever you sign up for that referral program, which is another really big positive thing. That is it. Thank you again for your time tonight. I really loved spending my night with you guys tonight. And any questions, just get back with the person that invited you here. Bye, everyone.